Hey there! Today we are going into emotional immune system. So we're going to uncover a lot more about emotions. Now that we've discovered what the enough equation is, you have your happiness formula of worth plus power equals safety. So we know that these things are directly proportional, so that when your worth raises, your personal power and the way you feel in the world all go up directly with each other. So we're creating more ways to enjoy life and embrace the life that you've always wanted and create the life that you've always wanted. So we're going to talk about emotions because they're part of life. And we realize that, how could you really enjoy your life or love your spouse if you didn't have emotions? So emotions are a big part of loving life and abundant living. So what we're looking for today is I'm going to give you a tool to embrace our emotions. And before I do that, I want to talk a little bit more about emotions. So most of us categorize emotions into good and bad. Now, I want to make it clear that there are no good emotions. There are no bad emotions. Now, our emotions may make us feel bad or make us feel good. And quite frankly, most of us are addicted to feeling good. And if we can't feel good, we want to feel numb. So I want to talk more about emotions because emotions are signals. They tell us something. If you feel sad, your emotion is giving you a signal that there may be a memory or event from your past that you haven't processed. If you feel happy, that is a signal that whatever made you happy is a good thing and you want to do that again. If you're angry, you are getting a signal and that there's something behind that anger that needs to be taken care of, that needs to be uncovered. So I think a lot of times, we wake up in the morning and no one says to themselves, I can't wait to get angry today. Most of the time we wake up in the morning and we're hoping we're going to have a great day. We crave feeling good. We crave being happy. We crave enjoyment. And so I want to talk a little bit about being addicted to feeling good. So we all, as human beings, in some way are addicts. And I'm not talking about the disease of addiction, and I'm not talking about clinical depression. I'm talking about the need to want to feel good. And what happens is that we want that so bad that when it's not occurring, we find things to numb ourselves with. And this is very interesting because, again, when we're numb, we're blocking these signals. We are not embracing the signal. We're not using the signal as a tool to move forward or use it as an opportunity. We're pushing it down. And then we wonder why we're stuck, or why nothing's changing, or why I don't feel good, even though I'm numb. And that those opportunities or those signals of feeling good become numb as well. So I want to uncover feelings are signals. They have something to offer us. It's information. It's a tool to tell us something else is going on here. And when we get that signal, we have a choice. We have an opportunity to do something about that signal. The other thing that emotions and feelings give us is an experience. So our feelings give us experiences. I know that I've learned how to use feelings as a tool, as a signal, and to embrace all my feelings, whether they make me feel good or bad, because it gives me an experience. And our experiences are so beautiful because we get to share them with one another. And experience actually brings human beings closer together. Experience builds relationships. If I don't have emotions and feelings, how do I have great relationships? So when we're looking to have a wonderful marriage, when we're looking to enjoy our kids, when we're looking to spend time with friends, we have to be in tune with our feelings and emotions. And I want to give you a tool to build your emotional immune system. So to have a healthy emotional immune system, I'm sure you've heard an attitude of gratitude can change the way we feel about things. So, it's talked about in the Bible. It's been, talked about on TV. Oprah has talked about gratitude. Many people have talked about the benefits of being grateful and even writing a gratitude list. And we've talked a little bit about, fear and faith, and something that conquers fear is love. So the opposite of fear could be love, and the opposite of fear could be gratitude. So when we're thinking of the way we feel, and we're thinking of these good and bad feelings, we really, if we're looking at them as signals and that we want to embrace all the feelings we're having because they're giving us information so that we can have an experience, so that we can have wonderful relationships, gratitude is a wonderful tool to keep us moving forward, and the easiest way to get a healthy relationship, to feel more healthy emotionally. So just tapping into what you are grateful for is a wonderful way. So if you're not in the habit of writing a gratitude list on a daily basis, if you find it hard right now to think of 5 things that you're extremely grateful for, I want you to start out with having a gratitude list. So before you go to bed, write 3 things you're grateful for, or write 3 things in the morning. So remember, I'm going to talk a lot about bookends. And we always, when we meet privately, we're going to be talking about how to implement bookends in your day so that you start and end your day with these tools, with ways of creating this healthy emotional immune system and healthy habits that create and keep your mind healthy and open so we can create these new neural pathways to build a wonderful life, to build happiness. And remember, this is a skill. And so we are building these bookends for the morning and the evening of training ourselves and nourishing the skill of having a wonderful life, of living abundantly. So the first step is gratitude, is just really knowing the things that you're grateful for. Now, remember I was telling you how your brain needs all areas in the brain when they're fired together, when they're turned on, they wire together. So you can build a neural pathway in your brain quicker when you use your voice, when you use your ears, when you use movement, when you use your eyes, when you use a feeling. All those things I just said turn on different parts in your brain. And what that does is turning all them on helps build another choice, another thought. And as we nurture that, we can create a new way of looking at things, a new perspective. So if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same result. So what we're doing is we're tapping into this amazing brain of yours and creating this wonderful way of changing the way you think and look at things. So we're opening our mind, so to speak, and training our brain to see something different so that we can choose something different. So the next step is looking for the things you're ungrateful for. And remember, that creates probably a bad feeling, right? So if all emotions are signals and all emotions are experience and all emotions do not fit into a bad and good category, we want to embrace them. So the next thing is to look for a list of ungrateful. So we're going to list ungrateful. And we're going to come up with things that you don't feel grateful for. And we're going to practice taking the gratitude we have from other areas and we're going to aim it at the things we're ungrateful for. So I want to give you an example. Let's say, I'm going to actually use a personal example. So when I was married, I was upset about the way my marriage was going. I was upset about the way my spouse treated me, and I felt very ungrateful. And I used this tool, and I'm going to call it gratitude pose, because what I do is I actually use a physical stance. I use a physical posture which is all it is just standing firmly on the ground or having both my feet firmly planted on the ground and opening my hands so that my palms are open. And so it's just, instead of crossing my hands, I'm just open to receiving. And that is a signal to my brain that everything is okay. And it also signals my brain I'm safe. So you think of, when a dog rolls over on its back and it puts its legs up, and the stomach is such a very, it's a vulnerable place for an animal. But when they open their palms and put their legs in the air and roll over for you to touch their belly, they feel safe. They're very vulnerable and they feel safe. So it's the same thing for our brain. When we open our arms and our legs are firmly planted on the ground, our brain is getting a signal. We're open and our body language is telling our brain it's okay. So the next thing that I do is I look at the thing that I'm ungrateful for. So with this example, I'm ungrateful for the way my spouse speaks to me. I'm going to take something I am grateful for and I'm going to pull up the feeling inside of me. So this is another way to chemically use our brain to pull up a feeling about being grateful I live in Monterey, that I live next to the beach, that I'm looking at the beach right now. So that's something I've always been grateful for, and I'm pulling up that feeling of being grateful to live in this beautiful area. So I'm taking that gratitude and I'm aiming it at my husband or my spouse doesn't speak to me nicely or with respect. So my spouse doesn't speak to me with respect. So a normal pattern that we would do is we would tell our friend, I hate the way my spouse speaks to me. I hate the way my spouse speaks to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that around and we're going to say, I love the way my spouse speaks to me. And again, I'm thinking of the ocean because that's something I'm grateful for. I'm opening my palms and standing firmly on the ground, and I am aiming my gratitude at the thing I'm ungrateful for and saying, I love the way he speaks to me. I'm grateful that he speaks to me that way. I accept my husband talks to me that way. It's perfect. My husband speaks to me exactly the way he does. Okay. If you're freaking out right now, it's okay. That's why you're ungrateful. And the signal that your feeling is giving you right now is that's not true. Right? Because again, this is our ungrateful list. What we are doing is we are building another way to look at something. So I will have you know that I use this tool. And as I came to embrace my feelings around the way my spouse spoke to me, and there was no negativity going back to him when he spoke to me the way he did, what do you think could have happened? What do you think did happen? So I'm here to tell you that this special tool, it changes you, it changes your brain, it changes the chemistry, it changes your perspective, it changes the way you look at feelings, and it gives you another experience. And my clients love this. If your brain is saying, I will not say, I love this, it's perfect, thank you for these things that I am ungrateful for, I understand, and it's okay. I'm introducing this, and we can work on it privately. I want you to know that just doing the gratitude list is enough. Just being grateful and looking for the things you are grateful for is enough. The ungrateful list, that's intermediate, that's advanced. That is an advanced level of gratitude. So just know I want to meet you exactly where you are, and it's okay to just start with the gratitude list. And in fact, if that is what's going on, it's okay. For those of us that are ready for the advanced level of gratitude, you're in for a treat. So you make the list of ungrateful people, places, and things, right? And then one by one, you're going to use these words to target those things. I love you. Thank you. It's perfect. And as those words would roll off my tongue, I was able to find other truths, that there is no duality, that all things work together for my good. And so if I truly look at feelings as signals and experience, every single one is valuable, is an opportunity. My feelings today give me so much. They teach me so much. And I get to experience life. I get to experience incredible relationships with people. Because when we're in relationships, what do you think happens? Sooner or later, no matter who you are, whoever is close to you is gonna what? Hurt your feelings, right? It's inevitable. And usually the closest people to us hurt us the most. And so this little trick is a way to create magic in your life. True magic. Because understanding how to just use your feelings as a tool, as a signal for more information and more data, and that's what we're doing here. We're uncovering more so that you have more perspective, you have more choices. And remember, going back to our enough equation, choices empowers us. Anytime we can look at, I have a choice here, I have this much information, I collected these things, I collected this data, I collected this signal, I've had this experience, it opens doors for choices. I'm thrilled to be able to share this with you. I know it's one of my favorite things to show my clients. They absolutely love it. I use it on a daily basis. One of the things, I'll give you one more example of how it's improved my life and how I think it has made a difference in how other people look at me as well. So we all are in a society where looks mean something. You know, we get to see things on the internet, on the TV, and magazines, in the news of what beauty is. You know, you go shopping, it's everywhere. It is everywhere on using beauty to entice us, to sell us. And there is a certain picture in our mind that comes up when we think of someone really handsome or someone beautiful. And I find that men and women have body image problems, body image acceptance, and that there's a lot of negative self-talk about what you look like in the mirror. And, you know, who can look at themselves naked in the mirror and say, yeah, you got it going on, right? So I'm happy to say I used this skill, looking at myself in the mirror with no clothes on, and I just went through all the things on my body I was ungrateful for, that I was talking to myself, I was using thought patterns to say, you're not good enough, over and over. So by making that ungrateful list of every imperfection on my body, I was able to look myself in the mirror, open myself, be very vulnerable, looking into my eyes and seeing what I was looking at and saying, I love those wrinkles. That wrinkle is perfect. I'm grateful for that wrinkle. It's exactly where it's supposed to be, and that wrinkle works together for my good. And I did it with fat rolls, and I did it with cellulite, and I did it with super white skin and freckles, and I just went through and I went through my list. So the magic words are, I love you, thank you, it's perfect. And again, if you're relating to what I'm saying, go through, if that's just, I'll never be grateful for those wrinkles or whatever it is. You know, I used to say, I'm grateful my belly is bulging over my pants. I love that my belly bulges over my pants. It's perfect. My belly bulges over my pants. And sometimes I would just laugh hysterically because, you know, who could be grateful about fat bulging over over their pants, right? I'll tell you that it doesn't matter what the skill tells me today. It doesn't matter if, for whatever reason, my pants are tight. It doesn't change the way I love and accept myself exactly where I am, and that I don't have to numb my feelings about how I feel about myself today, and especially my physical appearance. And what a gift of freedom. I can't tell you how many people are in bondage of self over body image. Can you only imagine what you could be with that freedom from that negative self-talk? It's amazing. It really is. It's powerful. And I'm so grateful for this tool. I use it often because just like any skill, if you stop doing it, what happens? As soon as you stop going to the gym, what happens? You can be looking just like the magazine and don't go to the gym for a month, and your look changes, and then you go to pick up the same weight that you did last month, and it's not the same, right? So even for me, I'm very quick to realize if I walk by the mirror and I'm like going right to the place that looking right at the place that I feel ungrateful for, I'm thinking, okay, I know what I need to do. So this is a skill, and just because you get it and you learn how to embrace and love and use all your feelings, all your emotions to work together for your good, you may still use this for the rest of your life, because that's just life. Living life on life's terms, stuff comes up. And I think learning how to embrace all the feelings and not categorizing them into, that makes me feel good, that makes me feel bad, I'm gonna, numb myself, run away from feeling bad at all costs. You're missing out. You're missing out, because our feelings work together for our good. They're signals, they're experiences. They're beautiful. And learning how to embrace helps us move through things faster. There's a great book called Loving What Is. Byron Katie is amazing. And that's another whole video. I have enjoyed understanding loving what is. And this is one tool to get you closer to embracing all your feelings. Having an emotional immune system, being healthy, means there's a balance and it encompasses all feelings. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear how Gratitude Pose changes your life. Till I see you next time.